Something I've been hearing a lot about lately in the news is Zoom bombing that is occurring in online classrooms now that many schools have had to go to online learning. It's where some uninvited person somehow makes their way into a Zoom classroom. It's called Zoom bombing. So what I want to do is show you how you can change some of the settings within your Zoom account to prevent this from happening. So you would go to zoom.us in your browser, log into your account. I'm already logged in, so I'm going to click on my account. And over on the left side, find the settings menu and click on that. Now there are several settings that you need to change in order to prevent Zoom bombing. Some of the other ones are completely your preference. I have my host video and participants video set to come on. That way you can see who's in your Zoom meeting. Of course, participants do have the ability to turn off their video. But let's look at some of the really important ones to prevent Zoom bombing. So we're going to scroll down. And here you want to disable join before the host. So we're going to turn that one off. When it is blue, that means it's allowed. When it's gray, that means it is not allowed. You're also going to want to use random meeting IDs. Your personal ID is not really advised because it's basically an ongoing meeting that's always running. So turn off the settings for personal IDs. You do want to password protect the meeting. So you want to require a password when scheduling meetings. So you turn on the passwords to require passwords. Let's keep going down here. And it's a good practice to mute the participants upon entry, and they can, of course, unmute themselves, but you can mute them back within the session should you need to. So mute participants upon entry. Let's go down some more and look at the chat. You can lock down your chat. I allow participants to use chat that's visible to everyone else. I do not allow private one-on-one messages that the teacher could not see. So we'll want to turn that off. And then let's go on down a little bit more here. We want to turn off file transfer. There's a way to send files through the chat. You want to turn that off. That's how some people were sending some inappropriate pictures, inappropriate videos through this file transfer within the chat function. So make sure you turn that off. Let's keep going down a little bit more here. We want to allow the host to put the attendee on hold, so we're going to turn that on. This allows the teacher to remove a student if there's a problem, and what this does is disables their microphone and their camera. We want to come down here to screen sharing. Click it to host only on the screen share, host only. That way students can't share inappropriate material as well. And where it says disable desktop screen share for users, that one we want to turn on because we do want it disabled. That way you can just, if you want to allow them to share, you can control that within the meeting itself from your dashboard, from your toolbar, I should say, your toolbar. A few more things that we want to look at. Annotation. Turn that off so that your students cannot use the annotation to add information to your shared screens. Also turn off their ability to use a whiteboard. I've heard of instances where participants pulled up the whiteboard and drew some inappropriate pictures. So you want to turn that off as well. And then down here, allow remove participants to rejoin. That one you want to turn off as well, because if you do remove a participant for inappropriate conduct, you don't want them to be able to come back in. So make sure you turn that off. And then one that is very helpful, we're going to scroll down here and come to the waiting room. The waiting room. As of today, April 1st, Zoom has turned this on by default in educational accounts. You want to make sure that that's on so that students cannot join meetings until the teacher admits them from the waiting room into the meeting. So make sure to have that turned on. Now, there are also some controls inside your Zoom meeting. So we're going to turn this on real quick. Open Zoom, and I just want to show you these couple of different things that you can do within your Zoom meeting. Let me grab this and pull it over here where you can see it. Okay, once you have your participants in the room, you do have the ability, once you click participants over here where it says more, you have the ability to lock the meeting so that no new attendees can join the meeting once it is locked. That would keep Zoom bombers from coming into your classroom while you are teaching, so you would want to lock that meeting and say yes. Another thing that you can do is get rid of participants, and it's a little hard for me to show you that right here, but when you click on this and you see the participants, you can hover over their names, and one of them would be remove participant. You can click the more. On mine, I don't have that option. I'm the only one in here. I'm the host. But if you have your list of kids here and you hover over one of them, one of your options is to remove, and you could kick someone out that is either being disruptive or someone that's not supposed to be there in the first place. So I hope that this has been helpful to you and helps you lock it down so that you yourself are not a victim of Zoom bombing.